Meeting will come to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the October the 16th meeting of the Calhoun County Commission. We'll start off with a moment of silent prayer, please. Amen. Pledge of allegiance up next. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next up is public comment. Danielle Elmo.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Elmore. I'm the clinic director for the Castle County Health Department. And I stand before you all tonight to offer free flu vaccines for anyone that's interested in receiving them today. It is recommended from the CDC that everyone 6 months of age and older receive a flu vaccine and the COVID 23-24 dose. So in a few minutes, I'll be in this room over here offering free flu vaccines. If you have a child that's 9 years of age or younger that has never had a flu vaccine, it is recommended that they get 2 doses the first season that they receive their flu shot. The first one will prime their immune system. The second one will provide the immunity. Tomorrow, the Castle County Health Department will have our annual free flu clinic drive-through at the Parks and Rec from 12 o'clock p.m. until 4 o'clock p.m. We offer vaccines for the flu at the health department Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. until 4:45 p.m. The COVID 23-24 vaccine is available. The government's rolling it out differently this season. It's now commercialized, which means we are billing your insurance, and that's at any provider that you go to. And with that being said, we will ask you for your insurance information. If you are uninsured, then there is a program called the Bridge Program that will provide you with a COVID vaccine. The ACIP has recommended that all children should receive the COVID vaccine, so they've included it in with the Vaccines for Children, which is a program to give vaccines to children 18 and under that meet a certain criteria. And if anybody has any questions about either the flu vaccine or the COVID vaccine, feel free to call our office and we will connect you with someone that can answer your questions. Thank you.
Would any of the commissioners be interested in taking the vaccine tonight? We will take a brief recess. If not, we'll move forward. One more. Kenny Lewis, Mr. Lewis, we have you on the agenda. Is there something you want to speak during the public comments other than what you're going to bring to us later?
I can wait until.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Recognitions.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Rose.
I would like to recognize members of the Pelham Volunteer Fire Department. I was advised this week by Chief Josh Benfield that Pelham had received $1.9 million funding from the North Carolina Department of Administration that was allocated in the legislative budget this year for them to construct a new station. I just wanted to thank all the members of the fire department who had a hand in this for a job with them.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Any other recognitions, commissioners? All right. None of the board is interested in taking the flu shot. We will move on. You have the agenda before you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Approval of the consent agenda would consist of our regular meeting minutes from October the 2nd.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So,
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next up, Mr. Smith, devoted film company presentation.
Yes, Commissioners, about 30 days ago, we were contacted by Mr. Trey Carswell with Luke Devoted Films about shooting some locations in Castle County, particularly Yanceyville, the historic courthouse, the old jail, and the schoolhouse. For a upcoming movie that he's producing, based primarily out of Atlanta, concerning the assassination of Martin Luther King. We'd hope to have him on a Zoom call tonight so he can give you more explanation, but.
I'm here.
Okay, if you would, just take over and tell us a little bit about the organization and your film.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everybody. Good evening. Thank you for having me. Can I be heard?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Okay, awesome. Okay, all right. So again, thank you for the introduction and that quick synopsis. But again, I'm Trey Carswell, the creator and the director of the project, The Shot. The Shot is about the young South African photographer, Joseph Lowe, who captures that iconic photo of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he's assassinated in Memphis in 1968. So this is a historical piece. It's a timepiece, of course. And I decided to take the direction of telling the story of King's assassination through a very quiet figure, through a very quiet witness who was there and captured one of the most iconic photos used throughout American history, along with the JFK assassination photo and a number of other, very historical photos. But again, the photo where Dr. King's entourage is pointing in the direction where they thought the shot had come from. With that being said, we are anticipating to shoot our project from the dates of December 1st through December 22nd in the North Carolina area. So we'll be shooting in Roxborough. Again, if I get you guys permissions and blessings, we will also shoot in Yanceyville, and we'll be shooting in Danville, Virginia as well. With that being said, I had the opportunity to come to the Caldwell County area and had an opportunity to check out the old courtroom. Now, that's the courtroom that you guys are currently sitting in. It has such historical value and presentation and the architecture perspective, trying to match it with an old South African courtroom, as well as your jail cell and your courthouse. Now, the reasons why, I anticipate or I desire to use these particular rooms and infrastructures is because of the historical value they add, meaning they match the time period that we are aiming for the project. So when it comes to the historical courtroom, we have our actor, Joseph Lowe, sitting in court, and he's about to be sentenced because he was in a relationship with the white woman. Now, this is during the apartheid times where that was forbidden. So that's that scene, So again, this gentleman had a very interesting story before coming over to the States and working with Dr. King and capturing one of the most significant civil rights moments. But again, like I said, he will end up going to jail because he was caught being in a relationship with the white woman during the apartheid times, and he's sentenced to like 6 months. With that being said, so that's the reason I want to use the courtroom scene. Now, the schoolhouse scene is for when we have a flashback of showing our younger Joseph Lowe, which is the photographer who's sentenced, when we show his younger years being in school and him being influenced and inspired to do photography by his teacher who's introducing the class to like photos and photography back in South Africa. And of course, leading up to the jailhouse scene, of course, once he's sentenced, we have a scene where he's sitting in the cell talking to his cellmate about, kind of his life and things of that nature. So that's the reasons why I desire to use your infrastructures there in the Caswell County area. Now, I did send over a proposal. I did kind of send over some information in regards to everything. I was able to raise $1,000 to donate to the historical foundation there in your county. Again, we noticed when we did go visit that a lot of the tours have been stopped due to funding and things of that nature. Now, I'm a firm believer of history and just holding history value. And tourism always, of course, it brings money, but it also teaches and keep the history and the legacy going. So that's why, my team and I decided to raise some money to, again, donate to your historical tours sector in your county. With that being said, we're also we have all the desire to make sure we keep everything clean in this same format, things of that nature. Again, I work with a very professional crew. So again, when it comes to my production staff, my production assistants, everything will literally be put back in the same order that you guys, if giving me the opportunity to use, will be put back in the same position, the same spot, things of that nature. And as well, we will also be hosting our 7th year charity event in the Yanceyville area, Toys for Talent. Now, Toys for Talent, it's aside from the movie. It's something we do every year for the holidays, where we host auditions for up and coming movies that we have for the next year, and just give people in certain communities opportunity. Last year, I believe we did New York, DC, and Atlanta. In prior years, just all over the states, Chicago, you name it, we've been there. And this year we'll be doing it in the Roxbury, Yanceyville, and Danville areas solely because we're already filming there and our crew will be there. So again, we raise toys and then we go donate all the toys to children in need, things of that nature. But I would love to have the opportunity to shoot the film in your district, in your area. Again, I think it will bring a lot of, you guys already have such rich history in the county, in the area. And I do feel if you guys gave us the opportunity to produce some of our scenes in your county, again, it'll bring tourism, it'll shed the deserving light on the county that it deserves. And again, you guys will be credited in a movie production. And that's my introduction. I'm open to answering any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Carswell. Any questions for Mr. Carswell from anybody on the board?
And can I give you one more thing?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Right,
I don't have a question. I just want to praise you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
What you're trying to accomplish. I hear you, and I hear you loud, and we're going to keep this up, and we'll work with you any way we can to try to. I hope you can hear my voice.
I can hear you. Thank you, sir. Now, I know I mentioned the dates of filming, which is December 1st through December 22nd. Now, I only need that one day, December 1st, which is a Friday, to shoot the scenes in your location. So again, just to break down even the time frame, courtroom scene will be maybe 4 hours. We come in with lights, cameras, things of that nature, our actors. Then the schoolhouse scene, same thing, like 4 hours. And then using the jail scene, it's the same, like 4 hours. So we're talking anywhere from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., almost a regular work day. Again, we won't be stopping any traffic. We're very discreet with production. All of our equipment, all of our vehicles, if given the opportunity and the access, like I said, we'll be parking in a designated area. And again, like I said, you're dealing with a very professional team where we'll be in, very discreet. We shoot our scenes, everything, like I mentioned, everything put back to its T, and then we're out, and then we're on into our next production elsewhere around the regional area.
Mr. County Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair.
And legal implications that the county could face?
Certainly, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, we've had in-depth discussions with County Manager Smith and the administration here in the county. And that certainly is potential implication, potential liability. I haven't been in the old county jail in many years, but I understand that it may be in a dilapidated condition that would have potential for injury. So I would advise the board that if you move forward with this process, we certainly need to have some type of liability waiver in place and signed by the production crew. And Mr. Smith may be able to elaborate on what type of insurance bond this company may have in place already.
Mr. Carswell, can you elaborate on?
I can. And again, I think that was a great perspective. that's definitely something that we do have to acknowledge, because like you mentioned, the old jail is definitely old. Again, I've had a chance to go and tour each and every location, so I'm well aware of the conditions of each building. The team are as well. With that being said, we do have insurance, and we have $1 million, liability coverage for my production crew. That again, my production manager will send over to you guys when it comes to all the logistics, like paperwork, in regards to liability insurance, discretion agreements, you name it, we can send it over. But again, I do agree with him, and I'm well aware of the risks, I guess, that we will be technically taking shooting in such older infrastructure properties and dilapidated almost properties. But again, been in worse positions, we shot in some worse conditions, telling the story. That's what we do as filmmakers. But again, safety is my number one priority, not only for myself, but for my crew. As one of the leaders of the projects, I'm definitely adamant about making sure myself safe and cover, as well as the individuals that are working alongside me, and as well as the people who've given me the opportunity to possibly shoot on their property, their land, and their building, things of that nature.
I recommend that the board agrees to move forward with this project, that we ask Mr. Caldwell to provide us the information he's got. Our decision can be based on the adequate coverage.
Can I ask a question? On the jail, I've never been in there. Is there I know they probably have a lot of people in there trying to shoot equipment. Is there a floor that would collapse or anything? And we have to do anything to be ready, that kind of load?
It's been some time since I've been in there. When I was there last, I did not see any such. It was a lot of concrete, basically a concrete structure. It's got some decay. Here again, if the board moves forward, I would offer my services to kind of guide these guys through this operation to make sure someone's there on time and make sure they leave on time and conduct safely.
Any other questions?
Mr. Vice Chair, a thought just came to mind. It looks like Mr. Carswell is shooting for a date of December 1st. Commissioner Holt brought up a good point about the condition of the jail. As I said, it's been many years since I've been there, but it may not be a bad idea to have county building inspections, planning office take a look at it before we move forward. It's just a suggestion.
Not a bad idea.
And can I follow up with that?
Yes, sir.
Again, I've also had an opportunity to go into the jail twice, again, with Mr. Jeff, the historical director. And with that being said, I did see the infrastructure on the first floor of the jail. It's all steel, of course. Again, so I didn't see any dilapidated floors, so I wasn't too concerned, but still being mindful that it is an old building. When I talk about the individuals that are being there in the room, we're talking maybe 2 actors and 5 production crew members. And the 5 production crew members, I'm talking my 2 lighting guys, my DP, which is the camera operator, and the director assistant and the production manager. And that's solely because these are the people that has to be on the set, as we're shooting each scene. But no more than 10 people in that building at a time. Now, when it comes to the equipment weight, if I can just give you an estimated weight of the equipment along with the bodies that are be in that building at one time, we're talking no more than 3,000 pounds, 3,000 to 3,500 pounds. Because again, this scene is a very dark scene. I'm gonna paint that picture for you. The scene is a very dark scene, so my lighting setup won't be as heavy as other particular scenes throughout this movie. With that being said, I'm talking maybe 1 forensic light in the left corner, 1 forensic light in the right corner. Our forensic lights don't weigh more than probably 80 pounds. each. That's with the C-stand that holds them up. And then, of course, the generator is outside, and we have a cable cord running from the lights to the generator. And then camera with tripods, 2 cameras with a tripod. This is definitely around anywhere from 250 to 300 pounds. And then, of course, like I said, the crew body. We have people 175 pounds. We have people 200 pounds. We have people 160 pounds. And so again, that's just an estimated weight of what will be inside of the infrastructure while shooting the project.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I would like for the building inspector and county to look at the condition.
Would,
To cover us.
all right, let me ask you this, so if they deem it safe, and the company could provide the proper liability protection for the county, would the board be willing to go along with it?
They will provide the liability.
Do we have any hidden cost in what we would have to do to get ready?
All right, would we have any cost in getting prepared, county?
I would say basically a little labor cost is all. They'll do the cleanup and they'll clean it up themselves. But I would come in early to get these guys going. I think I'm gonna have to be here at 6 o'clock to kick him off. And, I mean, you wouldn't have any cost there, so don't know me.
Any other discussion? I'll make a motion that we grant them access pending review by the inspection department, making sure the premises is safe, and that they provide the proper liability protection for the county. Have a motion, Mr. Rhodes, second. Any discussion?
I got one discussion because I really didn't hear what you was talking about, what he was pretty well talking about. I don't want to vote for something, I don't know what I'm voting for. I would like to put it off so that I can read the minutes of what he was said, then come back and make a motion to pass this, because I know not what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. What kind of deadline have you got, Mr. Cardwell?
Well, today is October 16th. I mean, in retrospect, I would need to know by next week. And again, I'm not trying to put anybody on deadlines because this is a favor that I'm asking of the county, with all due respect. So, if you guys grant us access, super amazed, super happy. Even if not, again, I still will carry on with our charity event there. And again, the $1,000 will still be donated to the historical, tour foundation, because again, I do believe in the rich history that you guys have. But as far as just giving you a timeline, do I need something by this week? Yes, sir. But if it can be next week, I can wait. And I guess, next week will help because again, it gives me time to try to find another location. I do have my heart set on you all's locations because I think it's perfect. I do definitely respect the people of the Caswell County area. So again, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my relationship and just face card with any individual there. So I will say next week, sir, as far as the deadline I have. So it gives me some time to try to find something else if need be. But again, I still will go ahead and do my part and due diligence, sending you guys over our liability documentation, weight of the crew to the T, get everybody's weight, have all our equipment weighed out that I know I'll be using. So I guess you guys can share that with the inspector. I'll do all my due diligence and try to have that over to you by this week. But as far as your decision, I would really be grateful if I can get it sometimes no later than next Wednesday, sir.
Fortunately, we don't meet again until November the 1st, 6th, which is 3 weeks from tonight.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Some of the information is in our packet.
Right.
I was wondering if we could take a 5-10 minute break and give some members time to read it and what have you.
Mr. Jeffers, does that work for you if you get a few minutes to look over?
You wanted to know if that would work for you, we give you a few minutes to look over the stuff that was in the pack. Yeah,
Let's take a,
can we put it off to the next meeting?
he needs to know by the middle of next week. I tell you what, let's take a, 10-minute recess and give Mr. Jeffers time to look it over. Mr. Carswell, you just got to bear with us a few minutes.
No, please, sir. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I don't mind. I can just mute and wait.
All right. We'll be
Yes, sir.
back. We'll be back with you shortly.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back from our short recess. I believe the motion on the floor was to grant this company access to the old jail and the courtroom here, provided that the old jail is found to be in usable, safe condition, and that this film company provides the county with our required liability protections. Mr. Rose, I believe you seconded the motion, correct?
Correct.
Any more discussion, or any discussion?
Mr. Vice Chair,
Yes, sir.
I was just told that, December 1st is the day we're having street lighting for Christmas, and they're gonna be, it's gonna be limited access. So, Mr. Carlswell, what time will we be finishing up?
Well, 6 p.m., sir. But, visiting the old courtroom, the old courthouse, I don't know if you guys, again, I don't know how you light your community, but we'll be in the back of the courthouse. So we don't need anything in the front of the courthouse, no exterior shots that I'll be outside shooting with the crew and cameras and getting in the way of the community or the boards that's in charge of, Christmas setup. Because trust me, I understand most towns and places and cities are preparing December 1st to actually start putting up the decorations and things of that nature. So just to give you a mindful idea of where we'll be located, it will be behind the courthouse, like I said, in a designated area where we won't be on the main streets, I guess, where majority of the lighting and the preparation for the Christmas holiday is going on. And if I can just summarize this project, in case there's still people who haven't, they don't know their decision. This project is a passion project. It took me years to do the research and due diligence on it. I'm a humanitarian. Yes, I'm well aware of what happened during the civil rights era. I'm well aware of American history. This movie's not a Black thing. It's not a white thing, because in the project, I highlight some very strong white individuals that stood for justice and cause and just a good society. Hardworking men, hardworking family personnels. I highlight good Black people in this project. In this project, I highlight some bad Black people who weren't really who they seemed to be, as well as whites. So again, this project is to tell an amazing story. I did it very creatively. It's a love story. It's a drama. It's full of passion. And again, it's a story that we all do know, being a part of our American history. And I just creatively threw a spin on it, using and incorporating this South African photographer, like I said, who had a very interesting story. Because again, although he was arrested for being with a white woman, him and this white woman had such a beautiful relationship and they were truly in love. But because of the times, they couldn't be together. Now she had money and her family was able to take her and put her elsewhere where that wasn't the situation for Joseph. And that's why he ended up doing jail time. He wasn't a crook. He wasn't a bad guy. He was this very sharp photographer, this very sharp journalist. Again, just, luck wasn't on his side because of who he fell in love with. But with that being said, I'm here to make not only myself and my crew proud, making an amazing project, but you guys as well, and shed light on the amazing county if given the opportunity to shoot this project. And I kid you not, I won't let anybody in that room down if you guys gave me that opportunity. I can promise you that. And
I don't mean to cut you off, but we have a lot on our plate tonight as far as the agenda.
Yes, sir.
You said the lighting is the first, same day he wants to shoot.
It is. Mr. Carswell, would you be willing to hang out with us until the lights are out for that night, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, before you could load your equipment, if you willing to?
Yes, sir.
With us?
Yes, sir.
So that clears that hurdle. Okay, all right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, and I'll restate the motion, allowing Mr. Carswell and the devoted film company access to this room, the old jail, pending inspection from building inspector, saying that it's safe, and that the film company provides the county with the required liability protection for the county. That's the motion and the second. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Mr. Carswell, you provide the liability protection. We make sure the building's safe, and we're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, thank you all so much, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else for me tonight?
That's all for tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Sweet. All right. Peace.
Okay, next up is the Danville Church and Community Tutorial Program, Mr. Kenny Lewis.
Well, good evening there. Thank you all so much for allowing me to come and share this program. I think we're going to pull up a little presentation that I go over with you. That won't take much of your time, but you all know, my name is Kenny Lewis. I'm the Executive Director for the Danville Church and Community Tutorial Program. Born and raised in Danville, went to school there and went off to college and went to Virginia Tech and went on to the NFL for a while and came back to Danville. And I recognized the support that I had myself growing up and that we needed a program like this to help youth. And so when I came back, I worked in the school system, Danville Public Schools, which I retired not too long ago. But we started this program when we were there. And this program is designed to hit the region in Danville, Clifton County, and Caswell. And I certainly do appreciate the opportunity to share this. My goal is to kind of inform everybody of what's going on, what's happening, and how we can partner together to help our youth when it comes to the academic or behavioral and activity standpoint. Next slide. We, what our program is, what it is, we are a collaboration that we partner with organizations, with schools, especially with schools, and specifically with Danville, Clifton County, and Caswell, colleges, churches. What we do, we come set up our tutorial programs in churches and community centers to develop partnerships to help those kids to be successful next. And our mission is to inspire the youth in our region toward academic excellence by developing the partnerships and giving them the academic and tutorial support that they need, helping them be successful. And then our next slide is our vision, is we want to be known for a national model where we can develop centers using churches and community centers where kids can develop those academic skills and go on to college or go on to a career. Next. In our history, we adopted this program when I was in the school system. I went to a conference in Arlington, Virginia, and we had a program where Dr. Donald Hunter was the speaker, and I went along with some administrators from the school system. Our city mayor went, and some of our administrators went, and we saw this program. We were looking for something that would help kids after school. And we adopted this program from Dr. Donald Hunter, who worked at the State Department, but also he was a Baptist minister, and in the school system were doing too well. And what he did was he started an after-school tutoring program in his church, and he noticed that the kids how their self-esteem was so low, kids who needed the help. But man, when they began to help those kids, give them that support that they need, give them a snack, talk to them about their behavior, and, just kind of building up their self-esteem. The kids begin to break down those doors, not literally, but coming through those doors when they got their report card. Look at the grade that I got, and it inspired them to do that. And what he did, make a long story short, over about a 20-year period, he had developed close to 500 sites throughout his region to help those kids, and it brought those academic scores up next. And just to kind of share with you, what we do a scorecard each year of how our program is doing. And last year we had about 32 sites, and that's including Danville, Pennsylvania County, and Caswell. We got, if you notice that brochure that we gave you, we got about 3 sites in Caswell, and I certainly want to build that up and partner with our commission here and with organization to get more sites here. And but our scores, if you notice, our scores did very well when we combined the integrated scores and the SOLs. We had 73% of our kids passed their reading standardized test, and 93% passed our math test. And then that's in 3rd grade. Then in 6th grade, we had 83 math and 83 with reading passed their SOL scores and their EOG. So the program is proven, no question about it, helps those kids after school. Next. And then, I'm sure all are familiar with the scores of here in Caswell. That's the report card we have right there. We want to get those scores up to B's and A's for sure. Next. Partnerships, we develop all kinds of partnerships in our schools, especially with our schools. We want to develop that partnership with our school system. And we sign MOUs with the school system to help us to make sure that we are helping those kids who need help. And we have partnerships with different organizations, colleges, DCC, Avery University, use those kids as tutors also, and Pennsylvania County, the Buchanan Foundation, which is a major funder of ours. Next. And then we partner with the police department. It's a major partnership we have with them. The housing authority, we have sites in every housing authority in Danville, and we partner with Parks and Recreation and different organizations. These are some other partnerships that we do have, also tremendous. I can't stress it enough how the partnerships that we develop to help strengthen our program. Yes. And what we provide, now we partner with organizations, and what we do is I meet with them. We'll provide all the training for any volunteers or paid individuals. We provide a computer lab. We give them snacks. We provide an educational budget, $200 per site. We do all the enrichment activities any kids want to do to a camp or enrichment activities. We pay for the kids to go there, and we pay for the field trips and any STEM programs that we do have. Yes. Some other partnerships that helps us to get through these. Man, we've been blessed with foundations to kind of help support all of our after-school programs in Danville and Pennsylvania County and in Caswell. Next. And these are some more of our partnerships that we've developed along the way that has helped us to be able to provide the computer labs, the educational budgets, and the training and the individuals to help support our program. Yes. And this is our structure of our program right here. We make sure we take attendance each year. Make sure we have a time where we talk about kids' behavior, give them a snack. We focus on homework, then we break into small groups to focus on math and reading. And then we have our STEM enrichment activities. We use the STEM through garden. They have indoor gardens that we do with each site. Yes. This is one of our gardens that we do inside. We provide aeroponic gardens inside where kids are learning how to eat healthy, and also they are learning how to build their immune system by eating properly, and they're learning how to grow their own food. All right, next. And these are some strong math programs that we use that really have helped kids out in math, and some resources. Go ahead. And this is another Khan Academy, which is a national known program. Matter of fact, globally, it helps kids with math all the way to calculus, which is a really good program that we use. Next. And these are, as I close out a little bit, these are some of the resources that we do have on our website that has been very helpful to help all of our coordinators at each site and all of our tutors to kind of help them out. Next. And this is my contact information. I did give you all a brochure, and you should have a brochure to have all my contact information on there and all the list of all the tutorial sites. And next. And But just want to just share with you all the program that we have. And I've been to the city council in Danville, went to the school board in Pennsylvania County, now I'm here at Caswell. Just want to, because people said this is one of the best kept secrets, but I just want to partnership, recognize that we have a program out there that's really free of charge to all parents, to all kids. We partner with organizations, with churches and community centers, and to help our kids be successful. And I know a lot of times we blame everything on schools, but man, it takes a village. It takes us all to kind of come together, bring resources together to help these kids be successful. So I just want to bring that out, the information to you all, that you'll know. Hopefully somebody see this, they want to develop, a relationship, so we can develop that partnership. I even with Danville, y'all know about those community block grants that we received, where we were able to put math and reading specialists in those sites to kind of help out with reading and math. And so we want to partner together to strengthen our education. So I certainly do appreciate the opportunity, and like to entertain any questions anybody might have.
How many sites do you currently have? 3 in Caswell?
Yeah, 3 in Caswell. Yes, got 3 in Caswell, and love to have as many as we can to kind of work a relationship with Caswell County and to continue to build. I got a really good, strong one in the Caswell County Community Center, which is a really, really strong, been very well received, and done a really good job over there. We have had one in the library, had partnered with the library when Rhonda was there, and the church right down the street, First Baptist. Sometimes when pastors change, things, one of the first things they pull is the tutorial program. But yeah, we have one also in Milton, and we have one in Pinnacle right here on Main Street also. So we certainly would love to partner and develop these sites. I think they really makes a difference. Without all my many years of working with it, it really makes a difference. And if we can partner together, we can make some things happen. Any other questions?
I have a question, and I like what I heard, I really did, and I wanted to work with. Have you presented this to the school board?
Yes, I have. I've been to the school board, the Shelby School Board, and I have talked to superintendent, the last superintendent. I know they got an interim right now, and I reached out to the interim superintendent, and he said he's gonna get to me when he can, which I know his plate is filled, but love to get together with him, Dr. Barker, which I know him and know his wife. But yeah, I definitely reach out. I'm doing all I can to kind of make myself known, and we're here to help and support.
All the tutorials after school or during school hours?
Yes, this is all after school tutorial programs, yes. Yeah, and then we do some enrichment, and we play for kids to go to camps, summer camps, cheerleading camps, whatever type of camps they want to go to. Kids in our program, we make sure they're exposed to do college visits and to get them exposed to the colleges, and we'll work with them. Those kids are in our program, we let them go all free.
Any other questions for Mr. Lewis? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank y'all.
Sounds like a good program.
All right, thank you.
All right. Mr. Bernard and Mr. Gilligan, tax schedule and revaluation.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Commissioners. Mr. Gilligan is sick. We have Gary Piner here from Piner Appraisal. What we're doing, we passed them out tonight. All we're doing is presenting the schedule of values for the 2024 reval. You'll have 30 days to review those. Then on November the 20th, you need to make a motion tonight to have a public hearing on November the 20th on those schedule of values. Then after that public hearing is closed, we can vote to approve them or whatever.
Lot to look through.
Yes, sir.
So this will come up at our second meeting in November, correct?
Yes, sir. Have a public, if you can make a motion tonight, have a public hearing on the 20th on the schedule of values for the 2024.
That motion, we have it here on the 20th.
Make a motion.
Have a second. Any discussion? Motion is that we'll have a public hearing on the schedule of values on November the 20th.
Yes, sir.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good evening.
Thank you. All right. Extension memorandum of agreement, Mr. Hochschlag.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for giving us the time tonight. I want to start first. We have a new addition to our staff. We were included in a grant opportunity with the State Department of Economic or Digital Equity and Inclusion. There was a $20 million grant process. Extension applied for a grant last year and we got awarded it. They are putting 7 full-time extension agents paid through this grant in Tier 1 counties to work on digital inclusion and digital training and skills. Caswell was one of those counties that got approved. So on Friday, Tyler Cobb started, if you want to step up here. We hired him to be our new digital inclusion and skills agent for Caswell County. This is kind of,
can I stop you? Could you explain what all that means?
It is going to be it's a new position that we've never really had, but it's a lot of things we've done. So it's going to cover a lot of things. We know we got a lot of technology coming into the ag world and just different areas, and with the expansion of internet, he's going to have a lot on his plate. Part of the grant, he's got to do trainings throughout the county, at least 2 a month to meet the grant requirements. It's going to be anywhere from teaching people how to set up an email address to get access Medicaid and Medicare to working with the county and county IT and doing some county training in Excel and Word and anything like that. If he doesn't have the background and resources, then he's going to tap into our digital team that we have put together on the state level to get more resources. There's a ton of resources already out there. It's just finding what the needs are and bringing them in here and presenting them. He's going to have access to him a computer lab that's on wheels that he'll be able to go to the community, to the different churches, community centers throughout the county and do his trainings there. The county's going to allow him to set up in CoSquare. He's going to have his desk and office in CoSquare. Kind of fits that model too as far as the digital, and he could help with some promotion for the CoSquare and get some people maybe to come in and utilize that building a little bit more for what it's designed to do. It's a fabulous technology centered building, and we need to be using it a lot more.
Thank you. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. So he'll be around. If you've got some things, he'll be putting some surveys out. We'll be putting together a digital equity advisory board and working on a county digital equity and inclusion plan that right now we're included in the regional plan that doesn't really address our needs for Caswell through the regional triad commission. So we're going to kind of work on our own and identify the needs and things for our community. Next up is what we're here for is for the MOU. I have Tyrone Fisher. He's our our regional director for this district. He's going to give you a little background on the reason for the MOU and why the university is working on updating them throughout the state this year and how it came to be, and answer any questions you might have over the MOUs that were presented to you in your packet.
Good evening, everyone. I am provide leadership for 20 counties along the Virginia line, and our task for the last 18 months, coming hopefully in 24, is to get 101 MOAs re-signed and redistributed to all the counties. Why are we doing this? During COVID, county administration asks, what can we do for our essential employees? They're our employees together. So the university has updated the language on the MOU to change it to MOA. We've We found out issues during COVID. These were signed in the mid-2000s. You may have been here, you may not have been here as a county commissioner, as a county manager, as a county finance director, as a county HR, but some could not be relocated, could not be located. Some of them had food stains on them, some of them had scratch on initials, didn't know who the initials were, had amendments on them, didn't know who amended it. So we decided to basically not overhaul, because the current MOA you have right now is still in existence. It's still good. We decided to just redo them and have a fresh copy for everyone to have on site. This probably be done maybe every 15, 20 years in the future as well, because of changing of county commissioners, change of administration, changing of county directors as well. So basically, we are going around to make sure everybody understands what the MOA brings to you. They are our employees, our meaning county employees and state employees. We are trying to educate finance directors, educate human resource directors, everyone that's involved with county extension staff. This came about when a lot of counties gave COVID bonuses. A lot of counties gave hardship bonuses. And the questions came from county was, can we do this for extension as well? Some of them were already doing it, some of them were not. So we definitely want to educate and close this gap to make sure you know that Travis's staff knows where the health department is. He may not know what the health department is on the state campus is, but he knows Caswell County, and he's county first. He takes care of Caswell County. So we want to make sure that you understand that you can take care of Travis's staff as a county employee. When it comes to salary adjustments, COLA, all those things involving with the salary based on this MOA. You don't have to wait for us. We will be part at the table with you. If you're dealing with salary that's within the market of its adjustments. But situations come up where if he has a staff member that gets a title promotion, depending on you, if you are lock-in or non-lock-in, determines how much salary promotion they get from that title promotion. So definitely I want to make sure that, because currently right now you are non-lock-in, meaning that Travis has to ask for salary raises on the county side every time there's a county raise opportunity. If we give 1 year like this year, we do a 4%, I will use this year for example. The state salary raises this year will be 4% this year and 3% next year. If you are lock-in, it would automatically happen. We will not ask or send you a notice. If you are a lock-in county, it will automatically be generated, already done. Travis will get 4% on the state portion of the salary and 4% on his county portion of the salary. Now, if you are non-lock-in, Travis will get 4% on his state side, and he would have to ask you for 4% through the finance director for a 4% raise on his county side. You have that right to say, not this year, he'll ask again next year, as a good director for him and his employees. But situations come that if he has somebody that is, say 20% state salary, 80% county salary, we'll give that 4% to that 20% of the salary, but be aware that staffer that has 80% county funds will be not getting anything as far as a raise, unless Travis asks to it for you. We've got counties that we're getting 4% this year on our state side, but we have counties that are getting 6, 7, 10% salary raise on the county side. So that throws it off balance there. That is, and all you do is ask for it in. So all depends on what you determine. Either right now you are non-lock-in, or whether you want to go lock-in, is what we're just making sure that you understand the education that you have and the power you have and the involvement that you have in the salaries of your extension employees. So that is a quick elevator speech, but I'm definitely here to answer any questions if you have any concerns involving the new MOA that's come before you today.
Board members have any questions? This MOA, when do you want this done? You want it done tonight?
No, sir. We started this campaign, January 23. Our goal is to get everyone signed and sealed by June 30th, 24. We got an 18-month gap because we know everybody got busy with budgets and everything else, but our goal is to get everybody. Now, we don't want Travis to be the last one. I've got 20 counties. I want to say 10 or 11 of mine done so far in my 20 counties. But definitely we wanted to make sure that you understand, and if you have any questions about this, because we want to make sure that we have retention and keep our employees, keep our good employees. And this will make sure that you can be involved, you are involved, and we'll make sure that you're aware of that as well because it's MOA.
Any other questions? Would the board like to take action tonight or think on this for a while?
Make a motion, we don't act on it.
I mean, just
Look through
One question.
great.
You did say we were a non-lock-in county as of right now.
As of today, your current agreement is non-lock-in. So Travis does, every time you have a county pay raise, he asks for it and put it in his budget. We don't automatically do that. We only automatically do things on the state side.
But let's say that the state gives a 4% and then the county is not able to at that year to do anything. If you were locked in, you would have to do the 4%.
You would automatically be done. Now, there is a 90-day window to change the MOA. If I remember correctly in the MOA, you have 90 days to change, to go from lock-in to non-lock-in. So yes, if you are lock-in, there will be no discussion, no email saying it's coming. When we do ours, automatically being done. If you're non-lock-in, we did 4, y'all may be doing 3. He'll ask for the 3, he may ask for 4. All depends on how he manages his staff and his budget. So you always have that choice. And like I said, we've had people get title promotions in non-lock-in, and the county did not have the funds that year. But he asked for it again the following year, and the person had that funds and was able to get that salary raise for their title promotion.
Thank you.
Vice Chair, I think we need to hold this over for a little while to consider.
I agree.
Thank you.
If the board consensus is we will hold off on approving this memorandum of agreement at the time till we have further discussion on it. Anyone object to that? All right. Thank you, gentlemen. No problem. We'll be taking action, but just not tonight.
No problem at all. I'll feel free to come back or for one-on-one visits as well.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Smith, Commissioner Boards and Committees.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vice Chair, if I may, I'll address the Board of Health. There was an issue that came up at the last meeting.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Mic on. Appears to be.
Yes, sir, Commissioner McVeigh. Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you.
Off the screen.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, at the last meeting, there was a question about whether it would be a conflict of interest for a commission member to serve as ex officio on the Board of Health, even though a family member was a member or employee of the health department. So in researching that issue, I looked through the Castle County personnel policies and procedures, and in section 4.3, it's entitled Employment of Relatives, and it states as follows: employment of an immediate family member of any member of the governing body or administrative official of the county is strongly discouraged. No person shall be hired or assigned to work under the administrative influence or supervision of an immediate family member. So in reference to the Board of Health, I think that answers our question about the conflict of interest. So I just want to bring that to the attention of the board because I think we still need to fill that position.
With that being said, it's my understanding that Commissioner Dickerson has agreed to serve on that board. Is that correct, Commissioner Quinn?
All right.
So that does fill that vacancy. But however, we do have a vacancy remaining on the EDC board.
On the what?
Economic Development Board still has a vacancy for a commissioner to serve.
Anyone interested in Economic Development Commission board?
When does that meet? Meets Mondays, the second Monday of each month at 1 o'clock.
I cannot.
I've been on it for a while, and I won't. Okay. Just the long and the short.
Still no takers as of tonight, Mr. Smith.
Would you like to elaborate? Would you like to elaborate? Because I was thinking about it.
Go ahead.
We'll move into boards and commissions next. Okay, currently, we have 4 vacancies on the Agriculture Advisory Committee. So I'm just giving you an update on that. No application received at this time for this meeting. Next, we have 5 alternates required for the Board of Adjustments. Applications received are as follows: Kim Steffen and Mark Fleming.
What's the pleasure of the board on the Board of Adjustment alternates? We have 2 that have applied.
We have 2 open.
We have 5 openings.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded that these 2 individuals be appointed as alternates to the Board of Adjustment. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Next, we have 6 vacancies on the Casual Adult Advisory Council. We have 1 application, Gwendolyn Lunsford. I think she spoke at the last meeting. I'd recommend we vote to put her on and then see if we can add to her and come up with some people on that board. Enough people will make decisions on the board. I'll make a motion to put her on.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
All right, next we have Hunting and Wildlife Advisory Committee, 1 vacancy, application from Kelsey Langley.
Make a motion to accept it.
Have a second? I'll second. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Let me see where we are. Gun on premises policy, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. So at your last meeting, we discussed the potential draft of a gun policy, gun on premises policy provision in the Castle County Safety Manual, which will be added under the workplace violence section. So tonight we have 2 drafts in front of you. They are identical with the exception of the highlighted portion in the first paragraph. The first draft states as follows: whenever a gun is discovered or presented on county government property, then the county employee or county department head shall call the Castle County Sheriff's Department immediately. The county employee or department head shall then notify the county manager. The highlighted portion here states that the county manager shall work in conjunction with the sheriff's department to determine if the county property shall be shut down and evacuated. And the last sentence reads, county employees and the general public shall not be allowed back on the county premises until given permission by the Castle County Sheriff's Department. So during your last meeting, there was discussion about whether the county manager shall work in conjunction with the sheriff's department, or if we should leave that determination solely in the discretion of the sheriff's department to determine whether the county property shall be shut down and evacuated. So those are the two drafts in front of you tonight. And we also have exceptions to this policy, which are similar to what's found in the Castle County Code of Ordinance. And that's section 22-60, 22-61, and 22-62 in our Code of Ordinance. And the last exception, exception number 14, states that persons carrying a concealed handgun on county property, but not in county buildings, who have a concealed handgun permit, as provided by North Carolina general statutes. So the reason exception 14 was added, in section 22-61 of our Code of Ordinances, carrying weapons on county property, it states, it is unlawful for any person to possess or carry a concealed weapon on any property owned or operated by the county unless the weapon is a concealed handgun carried by a person who has a concealed handgun permit. So the way our ordinances read, there's no concealed carry allowed inside buildings, but they are allowed on county properties outside the buildings if you have a concealed carry permit. Now, unless it's one of these 13 other exceptions. So what we're trying to do is have our Castle County Safety Manual mirror the same language that's in our Castle County Code of Ordinance.
So the only two differences in these two, like I said in the opening paragraph, where either the sheriff's department will make the sole decision, or the county manager and the sheriff's department will work together making the decision.
That's correct.
Okay. Questions? Anyone?
Mr. Johnson, what would happen in the event the county manager is not available, on vacation, out of the country, and you have something happen? Is there any liability going to fall within that?
Well, Commissioner Rose, I think if the county manager is unavailable, then that decision would fall to the deputy county manager. But we can certainly add language in there to alleviate your concerns. I think the intent of the first draft was just to keep the county manager and the county informed of any potential safety threat. Obviously, the Castle County Sheriff's Department, if they're investigating an active threat, they can't drop everything to make a phone call. But I think the intent is just to have the Sheriff's Department and the county manager and the administration communicate with one another.
To address Mr. Rose's concern, Mr. Johnson, if you just change the wording, the county manager, and in that absence, the deputy county manager.
Certainly, Mr. Vice Chair, I think that would be acceptable.
It would just cover in case county manager is not.
Yes, sir.
One of the two should be available. Now, in order to make, do you need to go back and make that change, or can we just amend it tonight? As far as adding the deputy county manager?
You're welcome to make that motion tonight.
Motion to amend, add deputy county manager behind the county manager, in Mr. Johnson's paperwork.
Okay. I have a motion, have a second, to amend the gun ordinance to include the deputy county manager, I guess if the county manager is not available, correct?
Correct.
All right. Any discussion on that amendment? All Ms. Rose is saying is if the county manager is not available, the deputy county manager will be contacted and work with the sheriff's department in case, something happens. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor of the amendment, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Now, we have the amended gun control ordinance, gun on premises policy. Do we have a motion to approve it as amended? Have a motion to approve it?
Second.
Yeah. Motion been made second. Now, discussion.
Help me out here, if the policy right now is that a person could be out there in the yard with concealed carry and everything. They couldn't come in this building.
As it relates, if you refer to our county code of ordinances, that is the current law.
And you want to change it where it's not even on the property.
No, sir, that's not the intent.
Then what was the change here?
Well, see, this all came about with an incident at the Tazewell County Recreation Center. And the purpose of this draft was to address a external or internal threat of violence when a gun is presented on county property that is illegally there. And this gives us a provision of how to address that. Before now, there's really no recourse or plan in place to address someone on county property with a gun for legal purposes. Now, the 13 exceptions allow certain individuals to be on county property. Obviously, if the sheriff's deputy is here, they're allowed to have their weapon with them. Other exceptions include district court judges, clerks of court, parole officers. But it's not the intent to make any change to the code of ordinance.
But number 14 is an exception to the rule, correct?
That's correct.
If the person has a valid concealed carry permit, they can have a firearm on them, but not in a county building.
Not in the building.
But on the grounds, they can.
That's correct. And Commissioner Holt, that is identical to the language that's in our code of ordinance.
Any other discussion? Not, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor of approving the gun policy as amended, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Let's see, county manager updates, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. The Board of Education contacted us today. We want to schedule a joint meeting with the Board of Education and the County Commissioners for January the 22nd, 2024. The meeting will be held at 5:30 for a meal, with the meeting following at 6 to 6:30. January 22nd. I don't think that's a regular date for us to meet, but it is a night for them to meet. It's their meeting, so, okay.
You say it one more time today.
So January 22nd at 5:30 for a meal, followed by the meeting 6 to 6:30. Okay. All right, next, I was contacted last week by President of the Danville Regional Foundation, and he informed me that we have $254,000 that we have not claimed. It's a grant that was awarded us in 2020 for operating expenses for the Coast Square. We have not applied for those grants, so I will proceed to do so. We should expect installments, 3 installments of that amount, hopefully within the coming months.
How much? To what?
$254,000. That was started up for the Coast Square. We got the initial $416,000, and then we got the first installment right after we got the construction installments. But I guess with the change in economic developers and so forth, it just fell in the crack and never got applied for. That money's there.
Good job.
Next, the safety manual updates kicked off. We had a meeting October 12th with the safety committee and the initial review by the safety committee, and that's a work in progress. So we'll go through and revise it and make a presentation to the Board of Commissioners at a later date. Okay. Next, the financial review committee will meet on October 27th with the finance director, review progress closing out the year in 21 and 2022. The committee will consist of Commissioner Queen, Commissioner Holt, interim county manager, deputy county manager, James Eames with the finance department, the health department. So we'll have the first meeting next week. So hopefully that'll be an ongoing thing. We can do that monthly until we can get covered. Then we make a move before you. Next, I'd like to recognize Roger Haynes, our maintenance director. He spent 4 days last week getting the certification backflow testing. With that certification, he could save the county $6,000 per year. So that's a big thing. Before we had to sub it out to C&J Utilities. Currently, we have vacancies for directors in planning, the library, and HR. So we're actively looking for replacements. I think we have some interviews tomorrow, and hopefully within the next 30 days we can fill those vacancies. That's our plan.
Good.
Next, Commissioner Jefferson asked me to check to see when $120,000 was deposited for the incentive money for Vision IO, and that was deposited in July of 2020. We paid it back in June of 2023. It was sitting in our account for 3 years.
Question about that, before you go on. That was, if my understanding of that incentive money, right?
That's correct.
If Measure IO had created X number of jobs they agreed to, they would have received the 120. Am I right?
That's correct.
It was never going to be in the county's coffers for us to see it.
No, instead of checking the account, they never earned that incentive money, so it went back after a period of time.
All right.
I sent out an expense report to the commissioners this week. I wanted to see if everybody understood any questions. That is an accurate, up-to-date statement. It shows expenses to date versus the budget. There may be some line items where maybe it's you've got one thing posted to a line that shouldn't be, and vice versa, but the numbers are accurate subtotal. Now, I asked them to go back and correct some of those things, but they said, well, do you want us to take away from closing out 2021 and 22, 23, or to fix this report? I said, let's send it up like it is. At least we can see what we're looking at here, and we can fine tune it in the coming days. So we should receive that report every month now on a regular basis.
Good.
That's good information, everybody. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Commissioner comments? Anyone?
Yes, I want to report that PCC is ranked number 15 in the nation of 845 other similar.
Sound like you're doing something right.
That's exactly right. I thought there was some good thing.
Anyone else? Announcements and upcoming events. October the 30th, the Caswell Candy Trail for Halloween from 2 to 5 here in Yanceyville. Our next commissioners meeting, November the 6th, here in the historic courthouse. And county offices will be closed November the 10th in order to observe Veterans Day. Closed session, to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged. Do I have a motion to go into closed session? Motion second. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. We're going into closed session.